Welcome to In Moderation,
the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
Welcome to episode 32 of In Moderation, where we bridge the gap between balance and eating whatever the heck and bob you want.
I like it. Yeah, it's better than what we have. We don't even have a slogan. We were just hoping you'd come up with something for us. That's really it.
There we go. Yep.
There we go. We're solving it.
And today we got Liam and Rob as guests on Alex's podcast.
On our own podcast, yeah.
Today we break down Rob's wonderful outline that he built on his wall. He's like, don't say that on the podcast. Oh, he said it. So I told him, I literally asked him, I was like, is that a mustache? And he was like, no, it's a bow and arrow. But now he can't unsee it.
Yeah, it kind of does look like a handlebar mustache. That'd be sick.
Thank you. Right?
Sick.
There you go. You're welcome. Just open your eyes to
no
everything.
one's ever going to unsee that now. I'm going to have to redo my entire wall.
Why do you need to redo it? A handlebar mustache fits.
Well, now maybe I'll just leave the handlebar mustache and turn it into like a beard underneath it now.
There you go.
See?
Like you on the wall.
There we go.
But now you got to make the handlebar mustache. You got to go for it.
So today we got Alex on the podcast. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have plenty of energy. I had a great week. So
You've got enough energy to take over the podcast for us.
I know you both come on and I was like, I got you guys both at like the highlight of your lives right now.
I'm always doing great. There's never a time I'm not doing great, except for when I'm not. So, Alex, what do people know you for? Like, what's your deal? What's going on with you?
People tend to know me for making ridiculous content that's educational, but then also entertaining to watch.
And high energy.
I'm very much known for having a lot of energy and being very positive. And I'm also known for telling people who make other people feel bad to fuck off. So that's pretty much it.
I know a little bit about that. That's my favorite genre.
Yeah. I don't like bullies. That's what I'm known for. But I attack with logic.
But do you do like equal parts like fitness and like nutrition? Is it mostly fitness or do you do like nutrition?
I'd say I honestly do mostly like body I'd say confidence, like mindset would actually be the most of it. And then it would be like health and fitness. Like I share all my workouts on my stories and stuff. So I'm like prove that I fitness. But then,
you prove that you fitness.
I'm like, I work out. I'm like, I actually work out, guys. But then other than that, I tell people to like be proud of their body and take care of it and do good things. So it's equal parts fitness, nutrition, and mindset.
Well, speaking of mindset, just after I actually booked you for the podcast, I had a bunch of requests for people that wanted us to talk about expectations.
Oh, I love expectation setting.
That's a good one because I don't think we really talked about that too much.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of people are worried about having, the wrong expectations, both going into exercise, but then there's also people who have the wrong expectations regarding things like, I know you deal with PCOS and they think just because they have PCOS, they can't possibly lose weight,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that when it comes to expectation setting, I think a lot of people either hold themselves to like a really high standard and they think that they need to do all the things, or they hold themselves to the expectation of somebody else. So they see what someone else is doing and they think that they should be doing those things to then be successful. It's actually, I feel like this is maybe a good example too of someone actually literally in my question box today said, what do you do when you don't go to the gym and you hate yourself for it after? And I was like, that's actually a lot.
You make a podcast.
Yes. But I was like, that's actually a lot more in depth than you probably realized because there's a lot to unpack there because are you not going to the gym because you actually couldn't? Like you didn't have the time, you didn't have the like availability to do it, whether it's like finances or whatever it might be. Or did you not go to the gym because of an excuse? Like you were too tired, and tired can be a number of things that is a valid excuse. Or it was like, I just didn't feel like going today. So I don't know why you didn't go, first of all. So you need to figure that out. But second, regardless of whether it's like an actual valid reason or it's something that you kind of need to work through for yourself, why do you hate yourself? If you didn't have the time, the finances, whatever it might be, that's not a valid reason to hate you. But then also, if it was the fact that you just didn't go because you just didn't feel like it, why are you hating yourself for that? That's not productive. So instead, ask yourself, why didn't you go? If you say you want to go, okay, call yourself out on it. And like, let's like set aside some time. But I think that people often expect greatness from mediocre input. I say that with love. But like seriously, because people are like, oh, I expect that I should be losing weight, but I'm not showing up consistently or doing the things that I need to. Or people are like, I expect to look like this person who's been on their journey for 10 years and I just got started.
Yeah.
Right. I think that a lot of that comes down to just the expectations you place in the first spot. Because
Yeah.
that's what I see from a lot of people is just having these high expectations. I think a lot of that definitely comes from, I don't know, let's say the Beachbody ads, like somebody lost like fucking
Yeah.
40 pounds of fat and gained 80 pounds of muscle in like a few
Yeah.
weeks or some like insane shit. So you
Yeah.
just kind of expect that. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe there's definitely a problem with consistency and people just, maybe aren't putting as much work as they need to. But also, if you have these crazy high expectations, you're never going to reach
Mhm.
it no matter how much work you put
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, and so I guess I think it's up to kind of people like us to put good expectations out there for people. Like helping them because it's the thing, if we're not working one-on-one with you, we can't tell you what to expect from whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're doing. We can try our best to guide you, but like ask yourself, if you want to lose weight or you want to change your body or you want to build muscle or whatever it is, you probably have to do certain things. Like maybe you have to move a little bit more on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you have to try and eat a little bit more protein. Maybe you do have to be really consistent with the gym if you want to like do a powerlifting meet or you want to run a marathon. Whatever it is that you want to achieve is going to require different habits on a day-to-day basis. So we need to figure out what it is that you actually want to do. And then we figure out what are the expectations to set for yourself. And we ask ourselves, what's actually reasonable and realistic for you?
Yeah. And
One thing we can definitely do in terms of general advice
I was
is
like, I'm so sorry. It's not general.
one thing, but in general advice, we can tell you that losing 30 pounds in 30 days is not realistic.
Yeah.
No.
You can lose a lot of water real quick, but yeah, as
I was
far
gonna
as fat
say.
loss, that's where another issue kind of comes into place. And it's tough. Like, where do you, yeah, like a lot of people, like, I have no idea kind of where to start, like what's, what I can do. And in that case, I don't have a problem with a low bar. I don't have a problem with the low expectations. I'm going to be honest. I mean, that's how I got my wife is, low expectations. You have to set them as low as possible. And then you can supersede that very easily.
You just killed Alex. You just killed Alex.
Listen, don't knock it till you try it. It works. So basically
For
my
all the
point
women
is,
out there who are like the bar is on the floor, Liam
I can
has
step
set that
over that. I can
precedent.
easily just walk right over it with no effort, almost basically no effort, the smallest amount of effort. So, and maybe you can kind of do that with your nutrition. Whereas instead of like, I'm going to lose a pound of fat a day, I'm going to, my expectation is to eat more protein, is to get more fiber into my diet, is to add these things that I know are beneficial for me, is to go from, I have 4,000 steps a day. I'm doing that on average. Maybe I can go to 6, it's 1,000. Like that's not a huge jump, something like that. Instead of having this, I'm going to lose this much weight. And you know what? I don't know if I'm kind of like jumping into shit, but it's just kind of making me think about it. How like we have these, like you just said, the person who asked you, like, I feel shitty about not going to the gym, or I feel shitty about not doing this. And I think a lot of that comes from like what we see out just in our day-to-day life. If you lose like weight quickly, right, you're going to get comments about that, right? If you do something quickly, you're going to like, wow, you look amazing. So then you're like, oh, I got to keep this up then. So then you really have to kind of push the pedal to the metal. And whenever you make one small misstep or one, you step backwards in some small way, you're going to get mad at yourself. So it's kind of just this self-feeding cycle. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to give a very precise answer to, when
Yeah.
the reality is it really just does depend, because the expectation that like I have for myself is I get 10 to 12,000 steps a day. I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I eat at least 100 grams of protein every single day. Like I have those expectations of my health and fitness,
Hmm.
but also I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Like
Right.
it's really easy. I still have to put thought into it. Like I have to think about making sure I have a protein source, or like getting up and going for a walk. But it's really easy for me to do that. Whereas somebody who's just starting, that's not a realistic expectation if they only get, like my dad, he works from home. He has a dog, but he throws the ball for my dog all the time. And I was like, "Hey dad, how like much do you actually walk in a day?" And he was like, "Well, I walk Carson every single day." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you throw the ball the whole time you're out there." So I got him a step tracker. Little did he realize he was walking 3,000 steps a day. And so to be like, "Hey dad, let's get 10 to 12,000 steps," would be super unrealistic. And I'm like, "How about instead of throwing the ball morning and night, you throw the ball in the morning and then you walk
Yeah.
in the evening?" And that already doubled his steps. And so it's like
Right.
the expectation is very different for him than it is for me.
There's a lot of talk
I will
about.
say,
I was just gonna say, like, when you talk about like achieving a physique is difficult, but maintaining it is a lot easier. It's similar just with your, routine with everything. It's like once you kind of have things in place, like you already have, you're like, oh, this is pretty easy. But
Mhm.
jumping to that immediately, so yeah, I like that one thing at a time. I like that one thing.
I will say your expectations are way more impressive than mine. My expectation is that I'm going to wake up at some point every day.
Hmm.
Not
That's
necessarily in the morning, just some point.
the bar's on the floor and we love it cuz
Listen,
you
I
just
wake up at 4 p.m.
you
Okay, I
roll it.
wake up and the day is basically over. Okay, and I still
But
manage to
you
do
got
things,
up.
guys. So like, hey, look at me. I can do. We can all do things if we put our mind to it.
Well, and the nice thing is we all have different expectations for
Exactly.
ourselves.
Hmm.
But we all fitness.
Yeah.
No?
We all fitness.
We all fit. You fitness. I fitness. Everyone screams for fitness.
Well, there's our next shirt.
You fitness. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really think like and honestly, just writing it down at the beginning can just be helpful. I think it's a great idea just to have like a small little list of like, just little goals, little expectations you have. Start off
Emphasis
small.
on the little.
Yeah, right. Like, find a wife that through that you did through through tricking her and stuff. And that's what, and then you work down from there. And and just put that
Uh,
up on your fridge or something, so you can see it. Small goals, people. Small
She's
goals.
gonna like listen back to this and be like, "That's what he did."
She
It
doesn't
all
listen to
makes
watch to
sense.
anything I do. It's totally fine. She never anything I say is totally free and no problems.
uh,
I don't I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember where we started with anything.
welcome to In Liam's Dating Life.
I achieved. I checked that
I was
box
like,
like it's
he's
already done.
finished. He's
I'm
at the
I'm
finish
done.
line.
I'm over, and now I let my body go to shit. No, but like seriously, just once you get like a little routine going, it's really not that bad. So yeah, just start off with some. And I like the step thing. Like that's the step thing is such like an easy thing, right? Like you can just be like, okay, let me just try and get a few more steps during the day. People can usually find some way to get that in. But also like when it comes to your diet, I like one meal. Like okay, let's just
Mhm.
do one meal. Even I mean, I don't care. You can start small. Is one meal one day of the week even like just something? Maybe you just do like one meal prep or something like that where you get a few meals. Just start somewhere, and you can always just build up from there.
Yeah.
You usually we'll have people start with like the 3 M's of like mind, mouth, and movement. And if you can do one thing in each of those, and again, obviously we figure out what it makes sense for that person where they're at. But like the most basic of basic is, hey, can you do a 10-minute walk today? Can you
Yeah.
do like 30 grams of protein first thing in the morning? And like we'll figure it out how you can do that. Or at least have a protein source in the like morning for breakfast. And then for your mind, it's like, can you just say something nice to yourself? Like, please. And so it's like,
I
it
like
could be
that.
that basic. And
I
that's,
like that.
if you can do those 3 things in the morning, you're already winning the day.
I really
I
think
kind of
like
want to
your
call dieting mindful mouth movements now.
mindful.
I'm just giving you guys a ton of, I request like a little kickback from any of the merch that you guys make from any of this.
Listen, once we start grifting, because trust me, we've talked a lot on this podcast about how we're going to do that, and we've got many plans. We've got that set up. That's where the money's going to come from. Don't worry.
Yep.
But I like the idea of starting in the morning because it's always to get the ball rolling, right? Like once you really get started with that, you get a little bit more confidence. You feel a little bit better. So if you can start off with something in the morning, like if you are going to start with one meal, okay, 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Love that. Like how can we do that? Oh, I like yogurt. I like eggs. I like whatever, just something.
Beans and toast.
What's that?
Said beans and toast.
Oh man,
She said the magic word, beans.
I love
I sent
beans.
him a video and then I saw that he'd already liked it, so I unsent it. Because I was like, I was literally like, oh, he's already liked it. I don't want to like fill his DMs with stuff. But it was this guy singing like a bean song, and I was like, and then I would check to the comments, and I was like, oh, he has like a million tags in this.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That's my ringtone. That is literally, if you call me right now, it is my ringtone. I'm not joking.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
I'm
we're gonna
calling
run
you.
this.
I'm calling you
Call me right
now.
now.
You guys,
Like I've got my volume. I think I got my volume up.
Why was your volume already still up?
What? I think I got it not on silence is what I was
like,
trying
what?
to say. Words are tough.
No,
okay.
it's giving me the. You're calling
from
a
Canada
U.S.
as well.
number. There it goes.
Oh, I hit the plus and to turn it up. Do it again. Run it back. God damn it! Making me look stupid. I was trying to turn the volume up and it doesn't work. Okay, you're calling from Canada. Okay, it takes like 10 minutes to actually reach me.
Yeah. The connection has to, go over there.
No way, you actually made that your ringtone.
Ancient legumes.
Look at that.
You know how fucking long that took? Holy shit. Like, I had to go into YouTube, download it through this third party, like, clip it out, and then add it somewhere else and extract that. I spent, like, 10 minutes on YouTube just, like, trying to figure this shit out. Anyway, totally worth it.
I was going to say, I
He
honestly
could
didn't
have
even
sent
know
it
that
to
you
me
could
and I
do
would have
that.
done it in like 1 minute.
I don't know how to fucking technology, okay? Listen, I barely know how to woman. Now, the beans are a great thing. Like,
Wait, you barely know how to date women or you barely know how to be a woman?
both.
He's like, I'm
Every
lucky I
one of
got
those.
here.
All
Having
of
a
it.
child, luck. Actually, it's not a whole lot of luck.
Listen.
But
Getting a woman, being a woman, it's all difficult. I don't know. Listen, I am a tall white man. My life is easy. Okay.
Who's on board for the Liam Drag show?
I'm charging at least something for that. Now, yeah, like whatever you can do to get protein at breakfast to back to what like normal people talk about is great. Like as it can like I love oats in like just like some protein powder. Protein powder makes it easy. You don't need it, but like you just throw that in the morning. Overnight oats. I recently did a thing where it's like you put fruit in a cup and then you add like kind of an overnight oat situation. So you blend up oats and like almond milk and yogurt, and then you top that with like chocolate. You can like melt chocolate with like coconut oil, and then it like gets the little shell, and that's like actually super nice. And then you can prep that for like 3 days. And you just got that for like you just take it out of the fridge and you can heat it if you want or whatever. Just eat usually just eat it like that, and just setting yourself up for some type of protein, some type of fiber at breakfast. Let me tell you something. Holy shit! I eat like oats and like chia seeds in the morning. I'm full for like hours. Like I'm telling you, it's just like the fiber and the protein and whatever. Like I'm not hungry until 4 or 5 hours later.
Yeah, I prefer to cook my peasant oats with egg whites. I replace the water with egg whites.
Egg whites,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good cheat code.
That's an easy
And then
way.
same thing, you throw some extra chia seeds in there if you want extra fiber and stuff.
Chia seeds. Throw chia seeds in fucking anything. I'm telling you, it just makes you feel fuller. Like it's fucking throw it on your pizza. Anyway, the crunch.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm here to say don't do that.
All right,
I'm
fine.
also team any food is a breakfast food if you choose to eat it for breakfast
I
time.
like that. Because whatever you like.
Yeah. People can overthink it, and I'm like, I have sandwiches for breakfast sometimes. Not with an egg on it. I'm not turning it into a egg breakfast sandwich.
It's not fucking bougie here. Holy shit.
No.
Like a sunny side up. Like it's food. Eat it whenever.
Well, that's my argument, because I'm like, people like talk about tacos, like breakfast tacos, and I'm like, it is literally a normal taco with just eggs put in it. So I'm like, if you just don't add eggs and just eat a different protein with it, you now have tacos for breakfast.
But
Well, there
anyway,
you go.
That's my
however you can set your day up. So like just that's what I would start with. Honestly, if you're like don't know where to start, I think just starting like with breakfast and somehow how to get protein and fiber into it. Because a lot of people tell me like, oh, I don't have time for breakfast. I'm like, do you have time before then just to prep something? Like,
Mhm.
oh, you know what's another really good one? You get the vanilla Greek yogurt. So they have like Oikos, like 000s, or I usually just
Mhm.
get Walmart brand because it's fucking cheaper and I'm cheap. That's my wife. And so then I mix in peanut butter powdered peanut butter, and
Like
then
PB2.
PB2, yeah, PB2, PB Fit, whatever it is. And then it's like sweet and super high in protein. You even get a little bit of fiber from the peanut butter powder. And then I'll top it again, usually with like a chocolate shell on top. And then you throw that in the fridge like 2-3 days easily. And then you just have that for breakfast. It's like super easy. Just like, set yourself up some way.
There you go. That's all it takes.
So let's dive for a second into the to switch topics on Liam, because Liam could probably go on for hours
He's
about
like, I'm
what-
gonna give you
what-
all
pretty
the
much any
breakfast.
topic. Give me
Yeah.
anything. I'll just fucking rant. I don't know shit about it. Go ahead.
He's like, I don't know
Aside
shit
for a
about fuck, but
second-
this is fine.
You want to talk about Blockbuster? What was it? Okay, so the first Blockbuster I ever remember going to. Go ahead.
Into the mind blank now because of Liam.
We
Right.
want to talk about Blockbuster. I know. Listen,
Block-
did you
yeah,
know
it's-
Blockbuster
this
had the
is now
opportunity to
welcome
buy
to In
Netflix twice?
Blockbuster.
They had the opportunity to buy Netflix twice and they turned them down. If you ever feel shitty about yourself, think about that and then plan your breakfast. Go ahead, Rob. What were you saying?
The unrealistic expectations set by social media.
Oh.
Like you can lose this much fat in this much time. You can put on this much muscle in this much time. Because we get bombarded by that.
Oh, that's not surprising. It's because everyone tells you that. Well, there's also the whole people editing their videos and photos
Yeah.
and things too. So you don't even know what people actually look like. So you're comparing yourself to someone that doesn't even actually exist. But I think that when it comes to expectation setting, when it like in that sense, or like, are you saying in the expectations or comparisons now to online?
Well,
Both.
the expectation that when you see somebody who had a before and after photo and they're like, oh, this person lost 40 pounds in 2 weeks.
Oh.
I feel like I should be able to do that. Now I have an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to necessarily say how to, because some people will post just a normal before and after, because obviously you gave like
Yeah.
a very drastic weight loss. If it sounds too good to be true, as much as I'm an optimist and I believe in being excited about things, it might be too good to be true. And so I think that kind of setting yourself up for like, what could I actually sustain? Like I always tell people, I'm like, if you can't do it for more than 10 weeks, you probably shouldn't do it for more than 10 days. Because it's like, you're probably not going to be able to keep doing that, whatever it was to lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks.
Holy
It's
shit.
just-
I get that so much when people say keto. Like, but keto works for me. I'm like, are
Yeah,
you going
you-
to do it for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Like, they look at me like, well, no. And I'm like, what? Well, then what's the plan? What's the long-term plan here? Just up and down constantly? Isn't it worse to just gain 40 pounds and lose 40 pounds over and over again? I feel like that's just worse for
And
you.
subject yourself to torture for half the time as you eat keto. Ugh.
What's
Gosh.
interesting is I feel like a lot of people don't mind the rigidity in the moment. Obviously, they get to a breaking point where they're like, I hate this. I don't want to do this ever again.
Yeah.
But during
Yeah.
it, they're like, I'm fine with some like short-term suffering because I'm getting some quick results and some dopamine hits from seeing the scale go down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But so it's like, and for some, not to that extreme, but for some people, seeing more expedited weight loss can be helpful to be more motivated on your journey. And so maybe doing something that is a little bit more, not that rigid or strict by any means, but doing something to kind of expedite seeing results can actually help people be like, okay, you're right. Like I am seeing things change. All right, cool. So now we need to work on actually building those sustainable habits into this. But then also you have to have somebody, or at least have an idea before you go into it that like, I know what I'm doing right now is not what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I need to figure out how I can actually maintain it. Because, I mean, as you guys know, we don't have a weight loss problem in America anyways. Like, people lose weight all the time. That's not the issue. People don't know how to keep it off. And then again, they have unrealistic expectations about what happens after the diet because they think that they can just go back to doing whatever they did before. So they're equating their maintenance with, oh, yeah, like my maintenance means I gain weight. And it's like, well, no, you actually aren't at maintenance. Those are the habits that got you to wherever you didn't want to be anyways. So we actually have to change whatever your lifestyle was to kind of fit whatever you say you want to look or feel like. Kind of ranting.
And if you ask me in
Like
terms
William's
of, yep, that's his pondering face. There's a rant coming. It's brewing.
I was like,
You can
oh
see it.
gosh, what did I say?
No, that's just a fucking constant state. You're talking about maintenance. That's my maintenance. Go ahead. What were you saying?
If you ask me in regards to like realistic expectations and goals, like realistically, you can lose a pound of fat a week. Can you do more than that? Of course. And there's different expectations there. But the further you drift away from that, the more unrealistic it's going to be, the harder it's going to be to sustain.
I think what is hard. So this is what sucks, I think, about bringing me on a podcast is because I am always the it depends person because I'm going to say like, because you just said like you could lose, and I'm not saying you're wrong by any means, but like you said you can lose a pound per week, but that really heavily depends on the person. Some people have a very skewed perception. Like I've worked with someone who she was like 5'4", she's 125 pounds and she wants to lose weight. And I'm like, you don't really have weight to lose. That's what I see looking at her. Yeah. But she believes she truly does because she has a skewed perception of her body and relationship with food and relationship with herself. And so like, that's where it's really important to remind people too, like, just because you want to lose weight or you think you want to lose weight doesn't also necessarily mean that like you should. And also just because you can lose like anywhere from like 0.5 to 2 pounds of body fat per week, and that's okay. It's a general concept for like depending, because like if somebody is 300 plus pounds, yeah, you can lose more weight more quickly because you have more weight to lose. But if you're leaner, it's gonna be slower. And also if you are resistance training at the same time, fueling yourself well, you may find that you're not losing weight as consistently, but you are still losing fat and building muscle. And also you might just be feeling better on a day-to-day basis, which could also be a win, which like people don't like to like accept. I did a video where I was literally like, this is the worst client transformation story ever, because, and then I go down the fact that she's now like the same exact weight as when she started, but she started out training 7 days a week. This is what she came to me with. 7 days a week, eating 1,200 calories a day. She never went out with her family. She was terrified of like going out to eat meals. Now she's training 5 days a week. She's not doing any cardio. She's eating 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. She's going out with her family and actually enjoying herself. And she's actually spending more time out of the gym and spending time with her family and her husband. It's a shitty transformation story because she kind of like looks a little bit different, but she doesn't have this crazy weight loss transformation that's super sexy to the eyes of social media, but she's happier.
Yeah. We talked a lot with
Adam better
when he came on this podcast about like just having goals that aren't weight loss.
Yeah.
It's just a great thing to have other goals. Just like you said, feeling better. I don't know, sleeping better, having better connections with family, whatever.
And it's definitely important to stress that everything's individualized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that some people, the goal shouldn't be to lose weight.
Let me ask you, Alex, like what's your kind of take on set point theory? Have you heard
I have heard of set point theory. I haven't delved like crazy deep into it, to be fair, but I guess my just general opinion from it is the fact that like I know that if I walk less and eat more, I'm going to gain weight. And I wouldn't say that that necessarily means that that's my set point. I would say that it just means that to be in a body that I feel good at, not just even like looks wise, but also just feel better in, like have more energy in and feel stronger in. I do like to move more and I do like to eat this amount.
Right.
So I think part of it, I think that actually weirdly enough kind of goes into expectations, because like if you say somebody has a set point, are you kind of, in my head, I'm like, does the set point mean that this person can't change that by moving more?
Yeah, by the way,
and
set point is you have like I should probably tell people
I
is
was
you
like,
have a
go
weight
for
that
it.
your body
Yeah.
wants to be at. Like there's a specific.
I don't really agree with that. Just because
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's been mostly like
No.
disproven. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I'm just kind of, for me,
Yeah.
I don't, because anyone can like change your weight,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know, through doing, but eating more, eating less, moving more, moving less, whatever.
Mhm.
But like, I do think there is truth in that kind of like everyone has like what some people term like a settling point where there's just kind of a range
Mhm.
where you kind of
Yeah.
feel best, which like for me, if I get below 180, I start to feel lethargic and just not so great.
Mhm.
And then if I get above like if I get close to 200, over 200, and again, I start to feel a little sluggish. Since anywhere in that like kind of 20-ish pound range, I feel pretty good.
So what you're
Mhm.
saying is your set point is a healthy amount of body fat.
Base, yes, for me. However, I do think there is truth in some people. They just kind of have this, their body kind of wants them to be at like a different weight because everybody, you know, of course, is different. And that's not saying they can't push themselves outside of that range, but it just becomes exponentially more difficult the more they push themselves outside of that range.
Mhm.
You know, some people have just a larger appetite, you know, whatever, you know,
Mhm.
lower
Right.
metabolism, whatever, you know, whatever the reasons are.
But you also gave like a
But
great point there where it's like some people just have a larger appetite. So it's like technically they then like could just ignore whatever their hunger cues were and then try to just shift it that way. So it's not necessarily like they I, I think yes and no with set point theory. Only because
No, I
like
mean,
I get what you're saying. They have a range.
like I get it. Like I agree. I don't believe people just like have a specific weight that they have to be. But like I do think just like there
They're
is
from most
individuality,
comfortable
like you're
with.
saying, it depends, all of that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, and I
for me, with
also
set point theory, the main point is if you let's say if you were rich, would you be more likely to move less and eat more compared to somebody who's poor, can't afford food?
So are you saying like, because well, socioeconomic factors always play a role. But technically, I get what you're saying though, because technically
Sorry,
that
I'm losing
takes
Alex.
out
Like I
set
can't
point
Yeah.
remember.
theory and now puts it on
Oh, okay, you are too. I want to make
your.
sure you are as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, is everyone frozen? Am I
Uh,
frozen?
we're
You're
losing you. We're
frozen.
getting pieces, and it's starting, and then it's stopping. I'm like, oh
Oh
shit, I don't know what's
no!
going on. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying socioeconomic factors do play a role, but then technically doesn't that not necessarily mean that's set point theory? That's just what is accessible to them.
But like, take a look. If you look at someone like Oprah, say, like, she has all the money in the world, like
Mhm.
literally all the money, and yet she
Yeah.
still struggles with her weight, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like that goes to show you it's not always just like, you know, in terms of money. It can be just somebody's their body wants them to be maybe on the heavier side, maybe on the lighter side. You know, I don't know. I find the whole, you know, theory interesting, I guess.
I like how you ended it. You're like, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my thought. It's interesting. I don't know exactly how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, there's also
I don't
sorry.
like it because
Ooh.
by all means, set point theory means it should be set. There should be a set weight, but
Right.
it's so
Mhm.
variable. There's so many
Mhm.
things that can vary where that set point is,
Absolutely.
and it moves all over the place. In fact, some people who defend set point theory are like, well, yeah, it moves to this other set point. Well, then it's not a set point if it moved.
Yeah. I don't like anything that. Okay, I'm going to retract me saying I don't like anything. I try to err on not giving people validation for potential excuses. And that's not to say that like
Right.
people don't try hard or that like we shouldn't modify things to everyone. That's actually what I want to do. But I don't
Right.
want to feed into. I always tread really lightly on trying not to like
That's an excellent
coddle.
freeze frame of her right there.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I was like, no, I froze. My internet is always great. I don't know what's happening.
I'm supposed to be the one living rural with crappy internet.
No, I'm in
I know
Texas with
everybody's, and I was looking at
Xfinity.
internet the other day. I was like, how do
Sucks.
I get faster internet? We're always just looking for, we live in the 21st century. I want instant gratification right now. God damn it.
Xfinity sucks.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
so
say
like
that so loud on your
no,
podcast.
I totally
Xfinity
agree.
sucks.
I totally agree with what you're saying though, is because I don't want people to think, because it goes back to what you said, like PCOS, I don't want people to say, oh, I have this, condition, or I have this set point. So there's no point. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. That's not great.
Yeah. And that's the other end of the unrealistic expectations right there, is thinking that because you have some sort of condition or something, and you see other people on social media complaining that they have it and they can't lose weight, thinking that you also can't lose weight.
Yeah.
Or do something else, not necessarily lose weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I think we've done enough positive shit now. We're like half an hour into the episode. I've seen you do some Bobby videos, and holy shit, I've been getting asked by so many people to talk about this shit. I was at the thrift store like 2 days ago, and someone walked by me, and I saw him like give me a quick look, and I was like, oh, he's probably gonna say something. He's like, hey, you're the guy that goes after Bobby. I was like, yeah, I guess that is. It's literally. I was like, okay. So he's like, can I get a picture? I'm gonna put this on Instagram, and I'm like, okay. Apparently, people really want to talk about it, and like I've just been doing less videos because it's kind of like exhausting to go through those videos.
It's the same
But
thing
sitting
over
on a
and over
podcast,
Your IQ just goes.
oh yeah, it's just like, oh, this shit again, going over it. So I'm like making the whole video and editing. It's just, oh, I don't want to do it. But sitting here and just complaining sounds like fun. So like, what's Alex, how you doing? What's your I saw you do I used your little video where you pretend to be on like a date with like him
Bobby.
and like the Dunkin' Donuts. That shit was pretty funny.
Dunkin'.
That shit was pretty funny. So like, yeah, what's your take on old Bobbykins? As
I think
old B-bag.
I think my internet's going out. No, I'm just kidding. I think that
see you later.
Frozen. No, so I don't like fear mongering, and I don't like people who exploit people's insecurities or fears for financial gain. And oh, you guys actually did
her internet did actually go.
I'm gonna give it a second.
Rats.
She jinxed herself on that one.
I like literally was like, oh, you guys actually did freeze. Let me just hold on a second. But I don't like fear mongering, and I don't like when people exploit other people's insecurities for their own financial gain. And it seems, I don't know for sure, but it seems like that is something that he may do quite frequently. So I don't like it.
This is going to be a fun one to edit because it's actually going to have what she's saying in her freeze. In the actual
so
full
we should
version.
just shut up. Like when she freezes, we just shut up, and we'll just wait a second, and then it'll be easier to edit, so we're not constantly interrupting.
Well, I mean, we won't know what she says half the time.
But we'll just pretend like she didn't talk, and we'll just start our own. I'm very good at mansplaining.
Yep.
I can just do that, no problem.
I literally did a podcast earlier and had no problems. Zero. So
so it's us.
I think it's your dual bad internet, which is the problem.
Oh shit.
So that's my thoughts on Bobby. Did you actually hear any of them?
Oh, we heard a lot of it. Yeah, so I mean, it's just like I think people enjoy just kind of like listening. It's just because I think the thing is like we're all frustrated, right, with like the fear mongers and shit like that. Like we all know like what the good shit is for us to do, and like it's just we're all upset, and that's why I basically yell in a lot of my videos and on podcasts, because it's just basically cathartic for people to be like, yes, fucking finally. I'm just tired of that. So, I just like, what are some highlights? Hey guys, what's some of your favorites? Let's all just fucking chat. Like, what are some of your fun favorite highlights from your time? Not even just Bobby, just like any, like, like grifter history. What do you got? Like, what's some of your favorite moments you look back on? Like, oh, I remember that.
Are you saying like people we don't like?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, this
like
is
a our time to just get upset about things and just like let it out.
It's rant time.
Yeah,
rant
I
o'clock.
love that. There's two that I really fucking hate. There's this girl who says no one wants to be the fat mom, and she makes me viscerally angry because I'm like, shut the fuck up, because that's just rude. No, seriously, because I'm like, that's just, she literally was like shouting. So she was doing what you do, but except she wasn't actually being nice. She was being an asshole. And so she's just like, nobody wants to be the fat mom. Nobody wants to be the mom who's fat on the beach and their husband doesn't want to touch them. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? Like, is your husband mean to you? Is he telling you not to be fat? Like, is that what's happening? And then there's also
it does sound like her husband doesn't want to touch her.
I was like, you are suppressing some things right now. But then there's also there's a whole movement right now where people are telling pregnant women that if they're worried about gaining weight, they have the solution for them. And I was like, are you aware of what happens when you have a baby growing inside of you? And so that's what I hate right now. I also don't like the guy who drinks his pee. I don't have a problem with him. I just think that that's weird. Personally,
what about
drinks
the guy
his
that
pee or injects his pee?
Injects his pee, because that's different.
No, there's a guy that
injects his pee.
No, I did the same dating video, except I did it for this guy.
I did see that.
No, I did see that actually.
And it was like,
well, now you need to do a dating video with the guy that injects his pee.
Does he actually? What do you mean?
Yeah, no, that's real. We're not making. Trust me, like there's crazier shit. Well, yeah, no, that's 100%.
He injects it like into his body.
Yes,
he pees into a syringe. He filters it. He mixes it with I don't know, like alcohol or something, and then injects it.
Yeah, no, that'd be Dave. That's the biohacker that's trying.
I know
that's the guy. Like, I think I saw in Mallory's video. She's great. She was like, Dave Asprey, I think, has like celebration at 180. Like when we turn 180, we'll have a celebration. He sells like tickets for it, and I'm like, that's the fucking greatest shit ever. Like that's, I mean, how smart is that? Be like, listen, you buy a ticket now, and when we're 180 years old, we can celebrate. How fucking great is that? You just walk away with the money. That's amazing. I'm mad I didn't think of it.
That's almost like timeshares, but for life.
It's worse than even because you get literally nothing. At least in timeshares, occasionally you can work something out. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no. He really injects himself with his pee. I'm really like having an issue with this because that's what's the benefit to it? Is he saying there
whatever
has to be a
he
reason?
says it's a benefit? I'm sure, like probably inflammation, probably better for inflammation is my guess.
Okay, I'm really
maybe it's good for your metabolism.
Okay.
I think it increases your vitality is what it does.
Yeah, is that what it does? Are you gonna go tell your wife that?
You can use whatever fucking flashy terms you want. It's great for that. So you know what I have a fucking problem with, and I'm so tired of, is the banned in other countries. We've all seen that. We've all gone over it. So many. It's so guys,
and it's always the same 5 things.
It's always these few things, and I literally I have my DMs are just people like, what about this thing that's banned in Japan? And I'm like, like, holy shit! Like, there's 18 kajillion countries out there, and they all have their own rules on shit, and they're all trying to make money in the ways they can. So, like, why does fucking like England not use high fructose corn syrup? Because we have fuck tons of corn here, people. So we use high fructose corn syrup. They use beets because they have beets. And yet now I get people going like, we're fat in America because of high fructose corn syrup. It's fucking sugar, people. Calm the fuck. Don't eat too much. Problem solved. Like, it's like in moderation. We named our whole podcast that, yet you can't get this shit through your goddamn head. And I'm tired of it's banned in other countries. How you doing?
Spoiler alert, it's not banned in Japan.
Why do you know that?
I always get like, and to keep going because I have to, it's not even like, a lot of the times it's not even true. Like, how many times have you seen like aspartame is banned in other countries? Which countries is aspartame banned in? You can't name any? Oh, that's interesting because it's fucking not. Like, it's available widely in like 50 different countries, like all of Europe. Like, what are you talking about even? It's like, and it's just such this confirmation bias because they've already decided the thing is bad and they're just looking for goddamn any reason that it could possibly be bad. And their minds are so simple. All they can latch onto is one idea, like it's banned. That's all they can do. As soon as you say like, what about any research or any evidence? Fuck that. They're already out. They just want a simple reason. and its ban fits that bill. That's all it is, and I'm exhausted.
I particularly love when they say something's banned in Canada, and I'm sitting here like, no, it's not.
I have it right. You need to get a compilation of just like having the things like they say is banned. Like, I got it right
really
here.
Get that many people arguing about things being banned in different as the
big? It's like its own. It's like band talk. Like it's like water talk, but it's got its own fucking talk. Like it's just so ridiculous.
And
I went to another country
the same
and I lost
things over and over again.
It's awful.
I see that one. I ate the same foods in another country and I lost weight, and that's the popular one. And I'm like, ooh, but that's not why. It wasn't suddenly like a quote cleaner food.
Numpty over there thinking that. Here's the thing. Fucking Europe has smaller portions for things. Like you go to Europe and you're like, what? Where's like, is this for like a child? Like I'm used to getting 4 times this much. In America, it's served on this big ass bowl with like a scoop so you can just like shovel it into your mouth. And in Europe, they just have smaller portions and they walk more. Like I eat the same foods over there. Oh, in smaller amounts and you walked more and you lost weight. Please break that down for me because my simple mind can't understand that.
I love the people that they go on vacation and they don't realize they're on vacation. Yeah, you're going to be are you just sitting there watching TV on vacation?
No.
Or are you going to museums and historical sites or visiting people or whatever?
I swam all day and then I feel better and I lost weight. What? That's so crazy. Like, tell me all about it.
I mean, I often go on vacation to just sit in the hotel and watch TV while shoveling giant pizzas in my mouth.
That's the Canadian vacation.
Well, no, that's when I take a vacation down to
you're from Canada,
to America.
You go somewhere else, and you're just a Canadian, so you're on.
I'm gonna go visit Liam, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sit there in front of TV and
I
shovel
gained
a bunch
weight
of
on
food
vacation.
in my mouth.
Oh, so yeah, that's the shit. Like, I'm just so exhausted and it's gotten to the point where I just like direct them to Food Science Babe and just like, hey, just go fucking watch her videos because she does in-depth analysis and it's great. And I just can't, I can't do it anymore.
So what do you actually enjoy talking about then?
Let's see. I like talking. I mean, pretty much in terms of just like making videos, I love finding kind of like new, like different little recipes or little like, just like hacks. Like, oh, if you mix this and that. I did one with like the low carb wrap, and then you put like mixed cottage cheese and eggs and you put it in the low carb wrap and you put like cheese and toppings or whatever you want. And in like a little container that'll hold it. And then you bake it and then you just bake it. And it's like a little like kind of like a quiche, but not a quiche. It's kind of like that, but you get fiber and you get protein and, you can actually have it for like a couple days. It's not the greatest the second day, I will admit, but it's still like pretty good. You reheat it, put a little like sriracha or some shit on there or whatever, some hot sauce. And I put like goat cheese and sun-dried tomatoes. So good. That's like one of my favorite things. Like, so finding those things, I enjoy that. And then the bad shit, I just have to yell about it because that's the only way I feel slightly better.
Too long didn't read. He likes talking about food he can eat instead of food he's supposed to be afraid of.
Pretty like, yeah, I mean, that's basically is a mix of my channel, really, right? Like just yelling about shit that's annoying and then be like, hey, cool, but what about this like ice cream that's like cool?
There we go.
Like, this is cool. Yeah. That's fun.
So I actually didn't even realize you had a normal mug. I always thought you had the fuck me sideways one.
I got a few mugs. This one, this one's like a Good Mythical Morning thing, which like is some guys on YouTube and they do dumb stuff and I like it.
It's funny. They do the food stuff. They do
the food stuff. Yeah, I like food stuff. I like fun. It's so can I just say it's so fucking nice. It's so nice to go from like the shit that I have to deal with like on and getting tagged and whatnot. And then I go to another channel where people are just like, what if we put this blue thing in this red thing and we ate it and no one's like fucking freaked out about it? And it's just like, they just do it. They just live their goddamn life. And I'm like, that's fantastic. Like, that's amazing. And they're not constantly worried about all these like fucking little ingredients. Worrying about that shit is going to kill you long before yellow 5, whatever the fuck you're worried about. Go ahead.
Have you ever thought that maybe you can just talk about that stuff? Like fun stuff?
Oh, well, I mean, I feel compelled. I've already started, so like my soul is like already partly in it, and I have to go back to this well of despair at least, I don't know, a couple times a week or so. But also yelling about things makes me feel better because I see it all the time. So when I yell, I feel better about it.
That's fair. I've realized I'm on a different side of the internet than a lot of people. I get sent dumb videos often, but like most often people are like, "You've made me feel so good about myself." And I'm like, "Thanks. That's all I care about." Oh no, you guys froze again.
No, you froze.
I know. It was me. It's fine. But I was saying that I mostly get people who are like, "You made me feel so good about myself. You make the gym seem like such a fun place." And I'm like, "Thanks, guys." And I'm like, I don't like negative human beings who are just grouchy. And I'm not saying you're grouchy by any means. I'm just saying I'm sorry that you have to deal with so many grouchy humans on the internet.
Yeah. So that's why we
He's
have these
grouchy for
segments.
about 30 minutes on the podcast, and that he gets it out.
But he's
And
not
then the
really
rest of the time,
grouchy.
he's pleasant.
Just you're grouchy because you don't like the bad people online who are making the other people scared of the things for no reason, which is understandable.
And it is really enjoyable to get people to be like, I used to be afraid of like every food, and now I just like eat and it's cool. I'm like, that makes me feel better than anything, because it's just like, I was told that 1,200 calories is going to make me fat and ruin my metabolism. And I'm like, okay, well, no, but like also you shouldn't eat that because that's not a good idea for most people. And then, yeah, like they feel better after that. I'm like, cool. Like I now just try this cool quiche thing and have some ice cream. Bye.
That's a great balance. Rob, did you ever say the thing that
you look at
you?
all the centenarians, all of them have like the same things in common. They didn't care. They didn't worry about food.
Yeah.
They didn't worry about all these things. They just lived a worry-free life where they socialized, had fun.
Yeah.
And they lived to be 100.
Well, again, they move a lot throughout the
And
day.
then you look at Dave Asprey and he's injecting his own urine.
The biohackers are just such an interesting group of people. Isn't it so strange, like how all these like additives and things are terrible for us, except in these like supplements that are now the best thing for us. Like there's just these
That
different
they make
groups,
money
and there's
on.
this Venn diagram where they kind of overlap in certain areas. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like biohackers are just strange to me.
I froze again. It's fine. Isn't it like the
It's
Nobel?
fine.
I'm like, isn't it like the Nobel Prize theory or something, where the more that people learn, like gain knowledge, then eventually they kind of like veer off into then believing random stuff. Oh, I froze again. How is my internet this bad? How is my internet this bad? I've never had this problem before in my life.
I heard Nobel Prize, and the more knowledge they learn, and then just stopped. And I'm like, okay, the more knowledge they learn, that's what's important. Yes,
the more knowledge they start to have, then the more they start to veer off. The more they start to veer off into like kind of crystals, and I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to get other people mad at me for like not really believing in the things that they believe in. But they kind of like questionable things like that. And so I feel like that's where a lot of the biohackers are, is like they start with good intentions and then slowly they're like, ooh, but then there's all these things.
So what do you think that these like grifters that start off with like, I'm going to make as much money as fucking possible and screw everyone else, who cares? Or are they just saying they go into it with the good intentions, but slowly they realize how much money they can make and how little they care about other people, and they just kind of move more into the money making situation? And I know it's going to be a low percentage of both. Like some people do this, some people do that. But do you think it's more like one or the other? Is it like a mix? What's going on?
Maybe it's the optimist in me. I want to believe that they came from a good place initially, and then slowly they just got veered into the land of making lots of money off of poor, unsuspecting humans. Because I've seen that with, to be fair, like I've seen that with a lot of coaches or like a lot of people in the fitness industry. They start their fitness journey because they want to feel better. They start sharing their journey because they're like, oh my gosh, it made me feel so good. I can help you feel good. And then they're like, oh, I can actually make a lot of money off this. And then they do, and then they screw people over. So I think that if you ever teetered on the like ethics scale, I think the fast cash grab can end up pushing people on that other side if their values and morals were already questionable. But it doesn't mean they're bad people.
Rob, what do you think?
Well, interestingly enough, looking back at, I went through Bobby's history a little bit when I was doing the video where I was figuring out what all he had his hands in.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
And you go back in Bobby's history far enough, you know, he was just making plain old
Recipes.
cooking videos.
Yeah.
And then he started making money off that, and he slowly drifted more and more towards grifting rather than making the cooking videos.
Yeah, I think he's like, I think definitely an example of like, yeah, just like, oh, I'm gonna do some recipes and help people. And then maybe they just start smelling their farts more and more, and they get like in other people, like in their circle, and they like, I don't know, like, because like you can fall into any circle. It's social
Well,
media, right? You can find flat earthers if you're looking, like you can fall into anything you want. So
well,
maybe they
when
just
we had Brendan on, he told us, like, he didn't give us the actual number, but he told us that he had offers from like the people selling wine, and he said they were significantly high.
Right. Exactly. So
Are
I
you
think,
saying
and then
Brendan?
you slowly fall into that, and then you get offered money, and it's just like, well, yeah, I'm going to take this. You know?
I think that is what it is.
It is what it is.
It
Good
is
night,
what it
everybody.
is.
It is what it is. I mean, that's pretty much our take on like that's what this podcast's about. It is what it is, and don't be your worst.
Don't,
And walk
I
the
always,
cat.
I always tell people don't be a dick.
Don't be a frozen internet.
Yeah. Don't
I might. Okay, I have literally never had an issue with my internet ever on a podcast, and so this is where I'm like, I'm convinced it's you guys. You're the problem. The bar was too low over there. Apparently, I haven't listened to enough of your episodes because I didn't realize it was this chaotic.
Oh yeah, no, it's always this chaotic. We're just like talk about just random shit that whatever bothers you or that sort of stuff.
So is it like therapy?
It's a
Pretty much.
It's a mix of like, here's some good tips, and also I know you feel shitty because of all this stuff, and we're just gonna yell about it so we feel better.
Have you ever been to like
When we
a
had the,
Smash Room?
The
Where you, like,
Smash
break
Room would be.
stuff?
I've seen
Smash
those.
Room.
Those things are fucking dope. I want to do one of those one day. So they just give you a giant
Oh,
sledgehammer.
you've never
and
done
then,
one?
No, I haven't done one.
I could see you thriving in there.
Oh, that would be great. Like just smashing any old like things that are gonna get busted anyway.
Yep.
Whatever thrown
You
out.
just-
That would be great.
Yep, that's it. There you go.
Hmm.
You can tell your wife Valentine's Day present. So you guys are.
I don't tell my wife anything. It's a troubled situation. So I think it
And that's
also
why
would be
the
really
bar is
good
low.
exercise. It would be a great exercise. And like how much energy you get out doing that? Oof, forget steps.
There you go.
Just smashing plates.
If you guys can't afford it, just go for your ex's car. I'm just kidding.
Kidding, not kidding.
I'm kidding. Don't go to
condoning.
jail. I'm not condoning this. Don't say accident.
You sounded like it came from a place that you may have known about.
I would never have done that in my past life. I'm too scared to do that. No. I'm scared of
But you
getting in
thought about
trouble. Doing that to an ex's car? No. Doing that to a kind of
Convenient internet freeze just as we're asking the hard questions.
No. To an ex's car? No. To a questionable ex-best friend? Probably. Here's your honesty, please. Liam's like, there's a lot to unpack there. I think I'm almost
like,
too positive for Liam. Liam's like, I can't handle this. We need to get her to like rage.
Well, I think part of it's the internet freezing.
That's fair.
We have these moments where we have to sit here to like 10 seconds and we're just like,
And then we just kind of guess. We kind of just guess what happened.
You're like, what's going on? I'm still here.
we've just
now
lost
while
our
the
flow.
internet's, I was gonna say, now that the internet's actually being good, you guys are like, we have nothing.
Yeah. This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
The very beginning wasn't too bad. It just slowly, I think, at
No.
the end there.
Yeah.
Got worse. It could
But-
sense Liam's rage.
Just put in my rants and then cut everything else out. Just
Okay.
like put those in there and then be like,
Like I'll just cut me and Alex out. The entire thing will be you ranting back to back.
I would go in and just be like, we had technical issues, so I'm just gonna give Liam ranting for like 10 minutes and just splice
more
shit
than
together.
10 minutes. Come on.
I think, well, no, out of like 30 minutes there, at least 10, 15 of it was, half of it was just me ranting. Okay, so we weren't just talking a bunch there about what to talk about to finish this up. So what we actually wanted to talk about was how we always get it where people just say, like, hey, I had a bad day. Like, what do I do? And so, like, what I always tell them is like, okay, there's 364 364?
Five.
We're in a leap year. Aren't we in a leap year, or was that last year? I don't
We
know.
are in a leap year, yes.
356.
So there's like 365 more days. You get an extra day. Hey, that day this year doesn't even matter. It's during a leap year. It doesn't fucking even matter. So you have all this time to get back into what you were doing. Like Alex, I need you to rant with me a little bit. You're too positive. I'm gonna bring you down to my level. I need you to go to people and tell them, like in a bit of a rant here, that it's okay. It's fine to have.
Let me get some
one
popcorn. This is gonna be fun.
Rob's going to drink his Mountain Dew Zero because that's the only diet soda he's allowed to have in Canada. And Alex,
True story.
I need you to tell people, the people that are always DMing me about how I had a bad day, what do I do, that it's going to be fine. Okay.
Okay, you had a bad day, so it's gonna be fine. Why are you stressing yourself out? You missed one day. That doesn't mean that you can't do anything today or the next meal or the next thought that you have. You can be a little kinder to yourself. You can go to the gym. You can go on a walk.
This is good, but a little higher. Yell more.
Higher
more yelling.
pitched? More yelling?
Well, volume, more volume. Go.
I'm trying to meet you where you're at.
You're fine.
Okay.
No, a little more volume.
No,
Go.
You never miss twice. That is the rule that you have to have for yourself. Stop holding yourself back and making excuses and saying
More
that
swearing.
like I'm not
More
perfect.
swearing. Throw some fucks in there.
I can't believe I fucking messed up today. And so now I'm a fucking failure. You're not a fucking failure. You're being way harder on yourself than you need to be. So suck it up. Go make the next decision something that you're actually going to be fucking proud of. And then get over it. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a fucking deal. It's cool. All right? It's
Never
fine.
miss twice.
Tomorrow is another day.
That's it. No, you can literally do something today. Liam just gave you an excuse.
I'm
Go do
setting the
something
bar too
right
low.
now.
Alex is coming up to raise the bar. You had one bad moment. The next moment is yours.
Go take the moment and take a step outside. You just won the day. Go yell outside. Just go shout.
There you go.
Did I rant well enough? I'm so sweaty right now. Is that what happens when you rant?
This is why I'm so lean. It's because I fucking yell.
If you want to be lean,
he burns about 2,000 calories
people.
every rant.
If you
want to be lean,
weight,
get upset
angry
about
at
things.
Life.
Yes. You got to get angry. You got to get mean.
Yes.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can
like
dodge
the
a ball.
WWE.
If you can dodge Bobby, you can dodge a bad diet.
Yes, there we go. On a shirt, coming at you.
They're making a dodgeball too.
We might get sued.
Rob's just sitting here crying about how bad the audio is going to be to edit.
He told me to shout.
They'll hear what they hear. It doesn't matter. They'll get the point because we yelled enough.
That's how you get people to believe what you're saying. You say it with enough conviction.
Yes.
Am I loud?
And you slam your fist on the desk. There you go.
Oh, shit.
Did I do it?
That was great.
You did it.
Do you guys believe me?
Yep.
Okay.
I love it.
I can rant. I used to act. Oh,
oh, shit.
But in all seriousness, I think people are way too mean to themselves. That's all.
I mean,
I agree.
I'm going to leave it on that. That's why I literally tell people all the time, I'm like, don't be a dick, especially to yourself.
Yeah. Love it.
It's that simple. Life's that simple.
Yeah, if you're going to be a dick, go on the internet and do it in comments.
Wow.
Like a normal person.
I wonder if that's where they got the drinking urine from Dodgeball. I didn't even think about that. Patches O'Houlihan. He drinks his own urine.
It's been around longer than that. I think drinking urine's been around a long time.
2005. I'm aging myself, but it's fine. Yeah. No.
Oh, you're still younger than both of us.
That doesn't tell you my age at all. You have no idea how old I am. Well, actually.
You just had your birthday, like, how many days ago was it? It was recently.
You might be thinking this is an actual gem that you should include. I lie about my birthday on a lot of the apps and things. So then that way, randomly throughout the year, I get free coffee.
Oh.
So that's my cheat code.
Well,
I put that on my story. I don't lie about it on Instagram because that does nothing for me. But you want a cheat code to have like a great day randomly, you get a text and you're like, happy birthday. You're welcome. No, I did just turn 30 in February.
See, I liked that post. I knew you had done it.
He's like, I wished you a happy birthday. I know it happened.
I didn't see you wishing me a happy birthday.
When was your
Canadians
birthday?
don't have birthdays.
Eh?
I'm trying to guilt her.
When was your birthday?
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Are you a Gemini, a Leo, a hippopotamus? No, I'm just kidding. Don't put that in the podcast.
A hippopotamus? I'm the hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless.
What is that from?
That is from Flight of the Conchords.
There we go. Wow.
Great band. Look them up.
I know who. Oh, you're telling other people that. I was like, I know who they are.
Everybody.
You're like,
Go
everybody.
watch the show.
I forgot that we're on a show because I'm like, hey guys, did you learn something today? Do you feel better about yourself? Do you hate Bobby a little bit more? The internet's been
We
fine,
learned
so
that
you
your
can't
internet
blame
sucks.
me. Okay, I was literally just like, the internet's been fine, so you can't blame me for the lull right now.
Listen, we are white men. We can blame whoever we want for whatever reason, as long as we say it with enough conviction.
Are you aware of what day and age you're in? You lost the power. We are all taking it back. Us brown women, we're taking over.
Oh, shit. We're going to hold on to as much power for as long as we can. You'll take
Are
it
you
from
guys
our
both
dying
over
grasp.
6 feet too? Oh, wow. You guys just fit the mold of the most
6'3" hetero male. Attractive,
Wow.
fit. I can do whatever I want as long as I
Attractive
yell
is up
about
to
it. People will listen to me.
attractive is up to.
It's my choice to use it for good, okay? It is my choice to use it for good, and I've chosen that.
Rob's like, I'm staying out of this. Attractive's a matter of opinion.
No
but that's
comment.
fine. I'm just kidding. Like Rob heard it. Anyways,
So, Alex, where can people find you?
I don't think anyone's gonna want to find me after this episode.
Yell at
you
them.
can
Tell them where to find you.
Guys, I'm on all platforms, even though TikTok's getting banned. I'm on the Alex Allen on all of them. I know it sounds pretentious. It's because my twin brother and I decided that that's what we were going to call ourselves online, and so we did it. And also, Alex Allen is a very common name, unfortunately.
So you're
You guys literally
the.
just happened to freeze at that time? No way.
More like the internet isn't working.
I was like, what are the odds that it just froze at that moment? It's fine. And it's freezing again. It was on a good little, it was good for a little bit there. It was fine. It made it.
Hey, wasn't that a great time? Listen to the podcast. You were just, I'm assuming you were just listening to in moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing.
No.
Yep.
The like button
5
on
stars.
YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Not the dislike button. That's a bad button. The
Bad
like
button.
button.
Don't
Bad button.
touch.
Hit
Don't
also
touch
hit
it.
all the other buttons. The share. You can go check
Subscribe,
out
all those things.
subscribe. Go check out our Patreon. We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways, I think, sometimes,
Sometimes.
all that good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So, peace.